it's Nayeli Cardenas from ALIGN Bodywork and Yoga in Costa Mesa. And today I'm going to take you through a 35-minute class that's going to focus on the extension of the legs, the lift of the spine, the lift of the chest, and you're going to need a couple of things for this 35-minute class. You're going to need a mat, your yoga mat. You're going to need a spot at the wall. We're going to use the wall today. You're also going to need a couple bolsters or couch cushions. The position for them is they're going to teeter-totter like this. So find a couple bolsters that you can do that with. You're going to need a belt, like a rope belt or a yoga belt would work. A nice blanket, a nice firm blanket, nothing squishy, nothing soft and squishy. We want firm blanket. And the last thing you're going to need is a yoga block, right? So go get your stuff at the wall, get your spot, and then we'll get started. Okay, so let's get started in your class today. You're going to start with the short end of the mat against the wall, and we're going to go into a pose that's called legs up the wall. So notice how I lie down next to the wall with my buttocks next to it, and I scooch back. Then I'm going to take my legs and I'm going to lift them up and I'm going to take them straight up the wall. My shoulders are going to want to run forward. We don't want that. So we want to take those shoulder blades, bring the shoulder blades underneath you. You want to have your arms maybe like in a cactus shape or in a football goal kind of shape. And your legs are nice and extending up the wall. Okay, now feel your legs as close into the wall as you can get them, but you want to have your buttocks on the floor. So if at any point your buttocks lift up, that tells us your hamstrings are tight, so just back away from the wall a little bit. Okay, all right, let's lift the kneecaps. So you're going to lift your quadriceps. You can probably see here my kneecaps are slack. And now I'm engaging my kneecaps. I'm stretching my heels up the wall, making sure my sacrum's on the floor. And I just breathe. Legs up the wall. Right here, I work on lengthening my legs. Keep your kneecaps firm. That will prevent the legs from hyperextending. Keep your legs nice and firm. All right, I'm going to scoot a little bit closer to the wall. You stay in the pose. Okay. Once we've been here for a little while, keep stretching the heels up towards the ceiling. Keep taking your shoulder blades down underneath you. Keep taking the kneecaps up, so firm up those kneecaps. And breathe. I keep pressing my thighs back into the wall. I keep lengthening my kneecaps and my heels at the same time. So I lift my kneecaps up and I lengthen my heels towards the ceiling. And I keep breathing. On your next inhalation, you're going to open up your legs nice and wide and stretch through the heels again. Your legs are nice and firm. Your kneecaps are lifted to prevent any kind of hyperextending of the knee. You don't want to feel your knee hyperextending. Instead, stretch through the heels and feel a nice, strong stretch through the inner thighs. And then you're going to exhale and bring your legs back to center with the bottoms of the feet together. That's it. Take your hands underneath the knee, not at the joint, and very gently press the knees into the wall. Now your low back, you're not flattening your back onto the floor. Just let your low back have a gentle little curvature to it. Don't flatten out your back onto the floor. Keep pressing through the hands. All right, now from here, take the knees in towards each other and extend the legs up 90 degrees. From your kneecaps, extend through your heels. Don't let your knees hyperextend. The wall is here to prevent you from hyperextending. But if you're away from the wall, again, be mindful of not hyperextending your knees. Keep your heels on the wall. Another cue of hyperextension is if your heels are coming away from the wall and your calves are touching, you're hyperextending your knee. Stop. Inhale the legs out wide. Exhale, bring the bottoms of the feet together. Stretch the knees towards the wall. Inhaling and exhaling the legs up the wall. Inhale the legs out wide. And exhale, bend through the knee, bottoms of the feet together. Press the knees into the wall. Your tailbone does lift a little bit. Your spine does press into the spine, but you're not consciously pressing your spine down. You're pressing your knees into the wall. All right, one last time. Let's inhale the legs up 90 degrees. You're going to interlace your fingers, turn your palms out, and stretch your palms away. If your arms can touch the floor, great. Have them touch the floor. Have your hands reach into the floor as you press your buttocks into the wall and your heels up towards the ceiling. Stretch the inner heel of the foot up. And release your hands down by your sides. Now we're going to put your palms together again. And you're going to change the interlace of the fingers. So now it's going to feel awkward. It's going to feel weird. Turn your palms out. Press the heels up into the ceiling. Firm up your kneecaps and gently take the hands over your head and on the floor. Gently. Shoulders are relaxed and there's a very gentle curvature to your low back. Don't squeeze your low back into the floor. Stretch through the palms. Deep breath. Broaden through your chest. And exhale, release the hands. Bring your arms all the way back down by your sides. Take your hands onto your belly. Roll into your side. And you're going to press up to seated. Okay. All right. Now you're going to carefully come up to standing. And you're going to take your block to your mat. All right, so you're going to take your mat, keep it where it is, and now you're going to take your block. All right, so I'm a one-woman show, so I got to get my camera right. Okay. Now take your block into your right hand and put it on the right side of your mat. And you hopefully have a wall that you're going to step your foot, your left foot into the wall, and you're going to step your right foot out. And you're going to stand nice and tall. And again, you're going to pull up your kneecaps up into your hips as you stretch your feet into the floor. Now you're going to turn your right heel out so that it's 90 degrees from the wall. You're going to line up your heel to the arch of your foot, and you're going to take your block behind your right calf. Press the side of your left foot into the wall. Square your hips, square your shoulders. We're going to go into triangle pose. Inhale your right arm up, exhale over your right thigh, and take your hand to the block. Now, for those of you that are a little tighter, you want a tall height, maybe even a chair. For those of you that are a little bit more flexible, you can lower the block, but your chest has to stay open. if your chest turns towards the leg, you need a little bit more height. Take your other hand to your hip. And keep lifting your kneecaps. Press the whole edge of the foot into the wall. Lift up your kneecaps. Square your hips. And let's finish the pose by lifting the left arm all the way up. Don't forget to breathe. 3 more breaths in through your nose. Pull the arms away from each other. Press the feet into the floor. Lift your kneecaps up. Now we're going to come up to standing. Move the block out of the way. Inhale your torso up. Push the foot into the wall to help you stand up, come to standing. Turn your other foot forward. Step your feet together. All right, so that was the right side. Now let's go over to the left side. Now you're going to turn around. You're going to take your right foot. Now, if at any time your mat moves away from the wall, adjust that, okay? Now take your right foot into the wall. Take your left foot all the way out. Take your block behind your left calf, ankle. Turn your left heel. Line up the heel to the arch of the back foot. And now straighten your legs. Lift your kneecaps up. Let's take the left arm up, shoulder height. Press the right side of your foot, the right foot, into the wall completely. As you stretch your left arm over your thigh, place your hand on your block. And keep your legs nice and straight. Press your right foot into the wall. Lift up through your kneecaps. Lengthen your torso over your left thigh. And let's finish the pose by lifting the right arm up. Press the right heel into the wall. Lift your shoulders. Take the arms, spread the arms away from each other. And breathe. Your legs are nice and firm. Your kneecaps are lifting. You're going to come up to standing. Inhale up to standing. Turn your toes forward. Step your feet together. And you've completed triangle pose. Good job. All right, our next pose. We're going to move the block out of the way. And we're going to go into Warrior II. From Warrior II, we start the same way. We take the left foot into the wall. The entire edge of the foot, is going to go into the wall. And again, if your mat moves, adjust it. Okay, Warrior II. Take your hands to your hips and open your feet out wide. Turn your right knee, right thigh, right leg to turn all the way 90 degrees. And line up the arch to the back heel. The heel and the arch line up. On the inhalation, inhale your right arm up. Then you're going to exhale and bend your right knee right over the second toe. Square, take your hands to your hips. Square your hips, square your shoulders. Take your knee over, I'm a little wide. Take your knee right over your second toe. And let's inhale the arms up and look over the middle finger of the right hand. Now keep your left leg very straight. Press the left foot into the wall. Let's come up to standing. Straighten your front leg. Turn your toes forward and step your feet together. All right, let's go to the other side. You're going to step your right foot into the wall. Step your left foot out. Turn your left heel. Press the right foot into the wall and straighten your legs. Take your hands to your hips and square your hips. Now, you've lined up your heel and your arch, and you've squared your hips. Now you're going to bend your left knee right over the second toe. Inhale your arms up shoulder height and look over the middle finger of the left hand. Keep your right leg very straight as you lengthen through your arms away from each other, and you bend your left knee right over to the second toe. 2 more breaths here. Don't forget to breathe. To come out, you're going to straighten your front leg, turn your toes forward, and step your feet together. Good job. You did warrior 2. Okay, now we're going to go into bent knee triangle. Don't forget to breathe in through your nose, out through your nose, in through your nose, out through your nose. Bent knee triangle, the same way that we've been working. You're going to take your left foot into the wall. You're going to take your right foot out. Feel a nice stretch into your inner thighs. Turn the heel, turn the knee, turn the thigh, turn the toes, and your front foot, your right foot is pointing 90 degrees straight. Look at your toes. When you bend your knee, like we did for warrior 2, your knee is going to go right over that second toe. Keep your back leg straight. Then you're going to stretch. I'm a little wide again. Okay, there we go. Then you're going to stretch over your right thigh, and you're going to take your right hand to the block and take your left hand to your waist and square your shoulders. Take your bottom chest forward. Don't let your chest turn towards the floor. Turn the chest forward. Bend your front knee. Now let's take the top arm, the left arm, swing it in front of you, and stretch right over the left ear. Bent knee triangle. Now you're going to come out by stretching and pressing that front leg straight, turning your toes forward, and stepping the feet together. Okay, good job. Let's turn around, and we're going to go into bent knee triangle on the other side. Adjust your mat if you need to. Have your block handy, and then step your right foot into the wall and step your left foot out. Your toes are pointing straight ahead to begin. All right, now turn, press the right foot into the wall and turn your left thigh, your left knee, and your left toes all the way 90 degrees. Now you're going to square your hips, square your shoulders. Deep breath in. Inhale your left arm up, and exhale, bend your left knee. Stretch over your left thigh, and then take your left hand to your block. Take your right hand to your waist and stretch. Stretch that right knee into the wall. Bend your left knee into 90 degrees. And now let's swing that right arm in front of you and over your right ear. Stretch the right heel, right foot into the wall. Press your left foot into the floor. Bend your left knee. Inhale to come up to standing. Straighten your front leg. Turn your toes forward and step your feet together and come into standing pose, mountain pose. Standing tall. Shoulders back. Let's catch our breath. Now when you stand in mountain pose, you want to have your toes, your inner foot parallel to each other. So your big toe side of your feet parallel to each other. And you can even lift your toes up, and that firms up your thighs. That firms up your knees. Feel that. Do that. Stretch your arms down by your sides. You stay facing the camera, the screen. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see that I'm not doing a banana with my back. I'm not arching my back. I keep my ribs in. I lengthen my back. And I roll my shoulders in towards each other. So at no point do I I don't go into my low back. I don't do that, okay? Bring my ribs in, Okay, so I gave you a little chance to rest because we're going to put all of those things together into a nice little flow. All right, take your block. We're going to do the right side triangle, right side warrior two, then right side bent knee triangle. Then we're going to come out and repeat on the other side. Now watch how fun this is, okay? Now just watch, do it, and feel how good this feels in your body. Now when I step my left foot into the wall, I place the edge of my foot into the wall, and I'm also right in the center of my mat. So I'm using my mat for alignment. Step your left foot out. Left foot out into the wall and step your right foot out, toes pointing straight ahead. Let's start with the hands on the hips, shoulders back. Now let's turn the thigh, the knee, and the foot 90 degrees and stretch through the leg. Before you do that, make sure your block is right behind your right calf. Inhale your right arm up. Keep your legs firm. Lift up through your kneecaps. Triangle. Stretch over your right leg. Take your hands to your block and stretch your left arm up. Both legs are straight. Both arms are straight. Shoulders are straight down your back and you're looking straight forward. And breathe. Let's do one more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, stretch, straighten your legs, lift the kneecaps. Inhale up to standing. From here, bend your front knee, warrior two. Deep breath in, shoulders back. Press that left leg into the wall and look over the middle finger of your right hand. One more breath here. Inhale, exhale, stretch over your right leg, and then go into bent knee triangle. You can have your hand on your waist. Make sure your bottom chest is coming forward. And then swing that top arm over your ear. Keep your hand on the block and stretch your left leg. We're going to come out. Press your front leg into standing. Turn your toes forward. And now step your feet together and pause through mountain pose. Thighs back, lift up through your kneecaps. Feel your feet underneath you. Find the balance in your feet. Sometimes we're too far on our heels. You stay facing that forward. Don't move. I'm turning to the side. Sometimes we're back on our heels. Whoa. Sometimes we're too much on our toes. So lift up through your toes. Lift up through your quadriceps. Lift up through your ribs. And firm up your legs. Look straight ahead. The ears are in alignment with right in between the shoulders. So now that you did one side, let's do the other side. Go ahead and set up your block behind you. You're going to step your right foot into the wall. Step your left foot out. Your toes are pointing straight ahead to start off. Then you're going to turn your left thigh, left knee, left toes to point straight forward. Straight 90 degrees. We went from forward to turning the thigh, turning the knee, the toes 90 degrees. Now let's go into triangle. Your block is behind your left shin. All right, both legs are straight. Stretch your left arm up. Keep your legs straight and stretch your left arm over your left thigh and keep your legs straight. Press the right foot into the wall. Lift up through your kneecaps. Square your chest. Take your chest straight forward. All right, inhale up to standing. Exhale, bend your left knee and look over the middle finger of your left hand. Keep pressing your right foot into the wall as you bend through your left knee. Warrior two. Let's do one deep breath in and out here. Then you're going to exhale, take your hand to the block, take your other hand to your hip, and you're in bent knee triangle. Let's finish the pose. Take your right arm, swing it out in front of you and stretch it next to your right ear. And keep stretching through your right leg very straight and bend your left knee. Inhale up to standing. Turn your toes forward. Step your feet together. Stay facing the direction that you're facing and stand nice and tall in mountain pose. And breathe. Find the balance in your feet. So if you need to lift your toes up, so you know when you're forward or back. All right, from here, we're going to take the buttocks into the wall. Have your feet forward. Lift up through your kneecaps. Inhale your arms up overhead. Exhale, press the glutes into the wall. Keep contact with your buttocks, glutes, buttocks into the wall. Lengthen your legs and then let yourself hang. This is a supported forward fold. If your hands can touch the floor, great. If they don't, just rest your hands on your shins or on your feet. To come out, you're going to bend your knees a little bit. Take your hands straight forward and inhale yourself up to standing. Take your hands down by your sides. Press away from the wall. And we're good on that. All right, let's cool it down. You're going to take your blanket to support your shins. Sometimes the shins, knees can be a little tender. You're also going to take your block in front of you. All right, so child's pose. Start with your knees a little wider than your hips and your toes touching. Then sit back and sit your glutes into your heels. You're going to have the block handy because the block is going to rest right underneath your forehead. Not on your face because that's not comfortable. Right on your forehead, okay? Ideally, it's going to be flat, but if you're having a difficulty reaching it, figure out the height that you need. All right, from here, you're going to walk your hands forward. Stretch your arms forward. And again, your forehead rests on the block and your arms are stretched down in front of you, just gently, but your buttocks stay on the heels. Your buttocks do not come up. That's not child's pose. So again, from a kneeling position, buttocks touching the heels, take your hands to the floor in front of you, walk your chest forward, leading with your heart, then press the thighs back and breathe. Your arms can be relaxed, they can be stretched, whatever you feel like you need today. Stay in the pose. You're going to do 3 more breaths in through your nose and out through your nose. Good. 1 more in through your nose and out through your nose. To come out of the pose, you're going to take your hands underneath your shoulders. You're going to walk your hands right underneath you so you're upright. Then you're going to shift your hips to the side and stretch your legs out in front of you. And stretch those knees open. We just had them flexed for a while, so stretch those knees open. Okay, we have 2 more poses. move your block out of the way. You're going to take your blanket and scooch it all the way up to the one edge of the mat. You're going to pull your mat away from the wall. Then one of your bolsters, one of your couch cushions is going to go straight across. Then your other couch cushion is going to go up and down, or your bolster, into this little teeter-totter action, okay? You're going to have the blanket close by so that your head has a little support. All right, so I'm petite, but no matter what size you are, your shoulders have to line up with the top of your couch cushion or bolster. Your shoulders have to be supported because you're going to go from this bridge position all the way pressing into your legs, and the back of your head gently lands on the floor, not your shoulders. Your shoulders are still on that bolster. Then you, if your low back feels happy here, then you stretch one leg out, then the other. If your low back feels tight, keep your knees bent. No worries. And breathe. Again, if your low back is happy, then you stretch your legs. The back of your head is resting on the floor. You can have your arms on either side of you, out shoulder height. You can have them above you, whatever feels good for your shoulders. But you keep stretching through your legs. Those kneecaps continue to be engaged. You can stay here as long as you like. We're going to come out by bending our knees and then rolling off to one side. So you careful, there's some height there. So you roll off to the side and you press up to seated. All right, your final pose is final resting pose, Shavasana. You're welcome to stay on this pose as long as you like. We'll stay here as long as I set you guys up. Once I've set you up, I'll go ahead and finish the class. And like I said, you're welcome to stay in Shavasana for as long as you need to rest. You want to have your blanket still handy for your head to rest on. And we're going to use one of the bolsters to support our knees, our thighs. So you're going to start by being in a seated position with your thighs on the bolster. You're going to take your arms behind you, lift your chest, lower down to your elbows, lift your chest again, and then lower your body all the way down onto the floor. Make sure you're not touching anything besides the bolster, the blanket, and the floor beneath you. You need to lengthen your spine. Get nice and comfortable. And your arms are equidistant from your midline. The midline is a line that splits your body from left to right, right to left. And rest. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. Letting your legs go, your hips, back. And your main focus here is the inhalation, the rising, the expansion of the lungs, rib cage. And then exhaling. Relaxing, releasing the ribs, lungs, the rib cage. All right. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. Thank you so much for joining me in today's class. You're welcome to come by the studio. Check out our yoga class schedule online at alignbodyworkandyoga.com. And I look forward to seeing you at our next 30-minute class. All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.